Beneath a restless sky and among trees that had watched generations grow and fade, loyalty was praised as a virtue, but betrayal was feared as a curse. Near the edge of the land flowed the great river Iyianya, its waters moving calmly while carrying stories no one dared to forget. People believed the river listened to laughter, to promises, to lies whispered when no one else was near. 5 girls grew up believing their bond was unbreakable, tied together by shared childhoods and dreams of the future. At the center of them was Zainara, gentle and open-hearted, admired in ways she never asked for. Her kindness came naturally, and her laughter drew people in without effort. What Zainara never noticed was how admiration can quietly become envy, or how smiles can hide storms. While she trusted freely, someone close to her was learning how to pretend. Zainara and Malika had been inseparable since they were young. They shared secrets under moonlight, braided each other's hair, and promised never to let anything come between them. Malika knew Zainara's fears, her hopes, and her weaknesses, and Zainara believed that kind of closeness meant safety. To her, friendship was simple. If you loved someone, you protected them. But Malika felt something different growing inside her. Each time Zainara was praised, something twisted painfully in her chest. Each compliment that passed her by felt like an insult she could not voice. She laughed when she was expected to laugh, but deep inside, comparison was turning into resentment, and resentment was slowly sharpening into something dangerous. The afternoon sun hung low when Malika suggested they visit the river. The other girls agreed eagerly, unaware that something had already shifted. Zainara walked beside Malika, talking excitedly, never noticing how quiet her friend had become. The river sparkled ahead of them, peaceful and inviting, hiding the weight of what was about to happen. As they reached the edge, Zainara leaned forward, smiling as she touched the cool surface of the water. She trusted Malika standing behind her. Trust made her careless, and in that single moment of vulnerability, Malika made her choice. The push came suddenly, without warning or hesitation. Zainara felt hands against her back, and then nothing but air as her body pitched forward. Her scream was short, swallowed by the river as she hit the water hard. Cold rushed over her, panic flooding her chest as the current pulled her away from the shore. Above the water, the world froze. The girls stared in shock, unsure whether to scream or run. Malika staggered back, forcing a look of horror onto her face, even as her heart pounded with something that was not regret. Below the surface, Zainara fought desperately, her strength fading as darkness closed in. Just as her body began to give up, the river changed. The current softened, wrapping around her like unseen arms. Light shimmered beneath the surface, guiding her deeper instead of letting her drown. Zainara lost consciousness, her feet slipping into the hands of something ancient. When she awoke, she lay on smooth stone beneath glowing water, breathing when she should not have been able to. A presence surrounded her, calm, powerful, watching. The spirit of Iyianya had chosen her, not to punish her, but to preserve her. Back on land, Malika's cries echoed through the village. She told everyone that Zainara had slipped, that the river had taken her too quickly for anyone to help. Grief spread like fire, and by nightfall, Zainara was mourned as dead. But Malika's tears did not bring peace. Sleep abandoned her, replaced by dreams of water rising and eyes watching from beneath the surface. The lie she told the village followed her everywhere, whispering that the truth was still alive. Time moved differently beneath the river. Zainara learned to breathe water, to hear thoughts carried by the current, to see memories reflected in flowing light. The river spirit taught her patience and strength, reminding her that survival alone was not victory. She saw visions of her village and of Malika smiling in her place. Anger burned, but the river warned her. Rage without purpose would destroy her faster than the water ever could. Justice, she was told, must move like the river itself. With Zainara gone, Malika stepped into a new role. She was praised for her loyalty, comforted for her loss, and slowly elevated in the village. People trusted her because they believed she had suffered. Yet every step forward felt heavy. The river haunted her thoughts, and the sound of water made her chest tighten. Power did not erase guilt, it only made it louder. When the river finally released Zainara, she emerged changed. Her eyes carried knowledge, and her presence felt stronger, steadier. She did not rush home. Instead, she watched from the shadows, learning who her people had become in her absence. The village no longer felt the same, and neither did she. Strange things began to happen. Fish washed ashore lifeless, crops near the river grew wildly, and children claimed to hear singing from the water at night. Fear crept into conversations, and the elders sensed the river's displeasure. Malika felt it most of all. Every sign felt personal, like a warning written just for her. The festival honoring the river arrived, a night when truth was said to surface. Drums echoed as villagers gathered by the water, offering prayers and sacrifices. Then Zainara stepped forward. Gasps filled the air. Whispers turned into shouts. The girl they had buried with words now stood before them, alive and unafraid. Malika's legs gave way as terror finally replaced denial. Zainara's voice was calm as she spoke, carrying across the riverbank like a steady current. She told them everything: the push, the fall, the darkness, and the river's mercy. The water behind her began to rise, responding to her words. Malika broke. Her confession came in tears and shaking words. Jealousy, resentment, the moment she chose herself over friendship. The village listened in stunned silence. The elders debated, but the river decided. Malika would live, but never return to the water she tried to use as a weapon. Exile became her punishment. Stripped of protection and respect, Malika left alone. The river did not follow her, but it did not forget. Her power vanished as quickly as it came. Zainara stayed. She was welcomed with humility and caution. Forgiveness came slowly, but healing began. She carried the river's wisdom now. Children gathered to hear her story. She taught them that envy destroys quietly and betrayal always returns. The river flowed peacefully once more. Far away, Malika met her end alone, haunted by water she could never touch again. Her story became a warning. To this day, elders say Ianya listens. It remembers every promise and every lie, and it never forgets who pushed whom.